Philosophy is a system of practical thinking format, pure essence, deep logic, real mechanics, direct application. 1. What is philosophy? Without platitudes. Definition for a practitioner. Philosophy is not love of wisdom, but an operating system for thinking. It is a tool for recognizing hidden assumptions, optimizing thinking and perception, navigating in situations of uncertainty, suffering, choice. A philosopher is an engineer of reality. He designs thinking, not just thinks. 2. Basic principles, the core on which everything is built. Principle 1. Metaposition. Never identify with the first thought. A philosopher is always the one who looks from above, observes, deconstructs. Technique. Thought. What is this assumption, feeling? What picture of the world is this based on? Desire. Who in me wants this, the subject or the program? Principle 2. Everything is a model. Reality is not what you see, but how you structure it. Philosophy is not the search for absolute truth. This is setting up the firmware of the mind so that it works more accurately. Application. Instead of what is right. Ask what works in this coordinate system. Change the model. Perception changes. The result changes. Principle 3. Systematicity versus chaos. We suffer when we encounter complexity without a map. Philosophy is the creation of mental maps, hierarchies, frameworks. Example framework. Any idea. 3 levels of analysis. Ontology. What is claimed about reality? Epistemology. Where does knowledge come from? Ethics. Practice. How does it affect actions? Aristotle. Chats. Architect of reality. Essence. Everything has a form, a purpose, telos, matter, and an efficient cause. Mechanics. Analyze everything through 4 causes. Example. A person studies philosophy because matter, he has a mind form, he thinks abstractly, cause, he seeks meaning, purpose, transformation of consciousness, scepter of nihilism, Schopenhauer, Camus, Nietzsche. Essence, the world has no meaning. Therefore, you create it. Application, Schopenhauer. Understand the nature of desire as a source of suffering. Camus, find freedom in meaninglessness. Nietzsche, become the architect of your own value field, revaluation of all values. Trap, getting stuck in reflection without going into action. 4. Universal philosophical frameworks, straight to the brain. Framework, 3 levels of philosophical depth. Level question thinking mode. 1. Being what is, ontological analysis. 2. Knowledge, how do I know this, epistemological skepticism. 3. Practice, how do I live knowing this, ethics/life strategy. Framework, philosopher as an engineer of meanings. Diagnostics, what's wrong here, imbalance, illusion, contradiction, analysis. Where is the root of the problem, erroneous picture of the world. Deconstruction, analysis of the mental model by layers. Construction, building a new model. Testing, live according to the new scheme, observe the effects. 5. Mistakes, myths, and traps. Myth, philosophy is thinking about the high. Truth, philosophy is the hygiene of thinking and a meta-tool for decision-making. Trap, quotationism instead of thinking. Truth, do not follow Nietzsche, but extract tools from him. Mistake, separating philosophy from reality. Philosophy, como rebooting the OS of perception. Changes occur in decisions, relationships, emotions. 6. Practical application, philosophical hard code. How to quickly philosophically unfold the problem. 1. What is this in terms of being, reality, imagination, concept? 2. What is my confidence based on? Feeling, tradition, logic, experience. 3. What does this mean for my life? What is freedom? What is the limitation? Trick, philosophical mode of thinking, internal algorithm, copy-edit situation, doubt, adjustment, analysis, principle, solution. Example, I don't have enough time. What does time mean? It's not an object, but a perception. So we control attention, not time. Solution: change the structure of attention, not the schedule.
Situation 1. Anxiety about the future. I'm afraid that nothing will work out. What if I can't handle it? Philosophical analysis. Ontology. Anxiety is a fantasy masquerading as a prediction. The future does not exist, it is created by the mind as a simulator. 2. Epistemology. Where does the certainty that it won't work out come from? From the internal model of the world where the result depends on complete control. This is an illusion. 3. Ethics. What is philosophy's response to unpredictability? Stoicism, control, only within the framework of actions, not outcomes. Buddhism, suffering equals attachment to the result. Nietzsche, the future as a challenge, not a threat. Amor fati, love what is happening. Reconstruction of thinking makefile. Copy edit, fear. Prediction, illusion of control. Contraction of will. Principle, the future is not a fact but a field for action. Action. Do what is in your power. Accept the rest as a learning variable. Attitude. I do my own thing. The world does its own. I am not God, and this liberates. Situation 2. Procrastination and internal sabotage. I know what needs to be done, but I don't do it. Why? Philosophical analysis 1. Ontology. There are two I's. Desiring, I want a result. Avoiding suffering, I don't want effort. Conflict is not recognized. Sabotage occurs. Freud. Id versus I. Camus. The absurd is a split between meaning and action. Buddhism. I is an illusion. It is a flow of states. 2. Epistemology. Where does the idea that doing equals suffering come from? From childhood experience of coercion, the false association, effort, should pain. 3. Ethics. What to do, knowing this. Stoicism. Will is nurtured in action. Aristotle. You become what you repeat, reconstruction of thinking. Arduino, copy edit. Procrastination, not laziness, but a conflict between parts. Principle. I am not lazy, but I am the field of internal struggle. Action. Remove must, replace with choose. Plus, small conscious steps. Attitude. I am not obliged to do everything. I choose to start small. I am not a result, but a process. Situation 3. Loss of meaning. Everything is meaningless. Everything I do is meaningless. What is all this for? Philosophical analysis. 1. Ontology. The world does not give meaning. It is not semantic, but factual. Camus. The absurd is the clash of the human need for meaning and the silence of the world. Nietzsche. Man must become the source of values. Buddhism, suffering, attachment to a stable I, and meaning. 2. Epistemology. Where does the idea that life must have meaning come from? An imposed cultural attitude. Meaning is a function of interpretation, not a given. 3. Ethics. What to do if there is no meaning? Camus. Rebel. Do it no matter what. Nietzsche. Create values that burn within you. Reconstruction of thinking makefile. Copy edit. Meaninglessness. Collapse of the external system. Possibility of a new design. Principle. Meaning is not what is found, but what is created. Action. Find what you are ready to serve. Make it your own fire. Attitude. Meaning is not needed to act. Action gives birth to meaning. Summary. What do all the analyses have in common? Component description. Problem arises from unconscious assumptions. Philosophical shift translation. From content to structure of thinking. Deconstruction analysis of ontological and ethical layers. New attitude, a clear phrase, plus. A new point of action based on the principle, compass of principles. What philosophical principle applies here right now? Situation. Principle. Fear. Anxiety. Stoicism. Control. Let go. Loss of meaning. Nietzsche. You yourself are the creator of meanings, conflict with yourself. Buddhism. I is a flow revaluation of yourself, others. Existentialism. Man is a project suffering, injustice. Camus. The absurd is not an enemy, but a platform. 3. Quick reaction to internal conflict, philosopher's reflex. Step-by-step reflex. 1. Stop. Am I now an automaton or an observer? 2. Name. What am I experiencing? Not what is happening, but what am I experiencing? 3. Adapt. Where did this reaction come from? Mine or built in? Apply the principle. What would a Stoic Buddhist existentialist say? 5. Acceptance or action, without pity but with attention. 4. Mental bug map, debug console. Activate when you notice looping, suffering, paralysis. Questions. Am I inside the model or above it? Have I identified with the emotion or am I observing it? Am I driven by fear or principles? If I can't figure it out. It's not a mental problem, but a level overload. Zoom out.